Manchester United 3, Liverpool 2, and we're into the next round of the FA Cup.
Ronaldo! It's one of the great Old Trafford comebacks! Astonishing!
That was a much better performance than the performance we had against Liverpool in the Premier League. In the Premier League, we were negative. We did not come to play football. We only had one plan and one tactic, and that was counter-attack.
If you're watching this video and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, don't be like that. Subscribe right now so you can see more content of this quality.
Whenever we had the ball, it was just play the one pass that breaks Liverpool's defensive line and we're going to get in behind them. That was it. But in this game here, in the FA Cup that we've just played and beat them, it was clear that we came to play football. Yes, we still had our tactic and our plan of counter-attacking. That was still our plan in the game. That was still a tactic that we had, was counter-attack, because if you look at both our goals, our first two goals, they came from counter-attacks. So it is still very much that was the tactic. However, we did come to play football at least. We did come to play football, especially in the first half. In the first couple of minutes of the first half, I was impressed. I was really impressed because we did not see that in the previous game against Liverpool in the Premier League. So we were actually passing the ball. We were actually comfortable on the ball, letting people touch the ball. We actually went into Liverpool's half, in and around their box, moving the ball, passing the ball. And we did not play like that against them in the Premier League. So I was actually shocked, and I said, yes, this is how we should play. Yes, when you play in Liverpool, you can't go guns blazing. You can't just throw everyone forward, because Liverpool are extremely good on the counter. They are extremely good on the counter, and they have players that don't miss. Saw that in their first goal. They are very clinical players. So I understand that you can't just go guns blazing, but I was impressed. I was very impressed at the way that United approached this game, and I was impressed with the way we played the game. Yes, it was a game where we played extremely well. No, it wasn't that game, but we were at least a bit positive, instead of like the other game where we were totally negative. The first goal that we conceded with the Mohamed Salah goal, I was extremely upset, because in no way, shape or form should one player run in between two defenders. Mohamed Salah ran through Victor Lindelof and Luke Shaw, and first of all, Victor Lindelof is not a left centre back, so I have no idea what he was doing on that side of the pitch. That's Harry Maguire's position, but Victor Lindelof was there and Luke Shaw was there, and they let Mohamed Salah run through them. Mohamed Salah ran through one-on-one on goal, and you saw the finish. The finish was world-class. He's a world-class player, and the finish was world-class. He chipped the keeper with his weaker foot. The keeper had no chance. So it was a good goal for them, but I was very upset at the way we defended that goal. Then we equalized 1-1 through Mason Greenwood. But let's start where the goal started. Paul Pogba. Now, I was reading comments on Twitter, and people were saying, oh, Paul Pogba's losing the ball so much, and people were saying he needs to sharpen up his game. But I don't know, how did you all see his performance in the first half? Because when I saw his performance in the first half, it was top class. I saw a disciplined performance. Yes, he was giving the ball away, not much, but yes, he was giving the ball away. And also remember, guys, Paul Pogba was carrying that midfield. Scott McTominay was extremely poor today, as he is most games he plays. The reason Ollie chooses Scott is because Scott McTominay is a passion merchant. Scott McTominay is from Britain, and Scott McTominay comes from the academy. So when you come from the academy and you're from Britain, United will always favour you. That's just the way it is with this manager. That's one of the things I don't like about this manager, but that it is what it is with that manager. So that's the only reason Scott is playing, because Scott is not better than Fred. He's not. Fred closes down opposition better. Fred presses better. Fred wins the ball back better, and Fred is a bit more better on the ball. So Scott was very poor today, and then you had Donny van der Beek that was partially anonymous in this game. Look here, we all like Donny van der Beek, and we all want to see more of Donny van der Beek, and I think that's where the fans get on Solskjaer's back from the treatment of Donny van der Beek, because the fans don't really know what Donny van der Beek is about. So they want to see Donny playing. They want to see him play more and more and more games. But I have seen a lot of Donny van der Beek. I've watched Donny at Ajax in the Champions League. Donny's a good player, but Donny's not better than Bruno. Donny's far from Bruno's level, and Donny's obviously not even anywhere close to Paul Pogba. So there's no way he's going to start in a number 10 ahead of Bruno. That's not going to happen, because Bruno's an impact player. Bruno can win you games by himself. And then of course Pogba's world class, so Donny's not going to go there by Pogba. The only position that Donny can make in this United team is to be ahead of Scott McTominay and Fred, because he's much better than Scott. We know that he's better than Scott. With Fred, you just have to weigh it out. But Donny surely should have a place above Scott. That's not the case, because as I said earlier, the manager got his favourites with regards to the British biasm and the academy. So in this game today, you saw that Donny van de Beek was pretty much anonymous. We had some of the ball. It wasn't as bad as when we played Liverpool in the Premier League. Like, Bruno suffered in that game because we did not have much of the ball, and it was also down to his performance wasn't good. But this game we did have some of the ball, but just that Donny was, I would say he was anonymous. Yes, I saw some things that he done, like running ahead of Marcus Rashford. I think it is in the first half, but it's pretty much anonymous. Donny's not better than Bruno, so we need to hold all those talks saying that Donny must start ahead of Bruno. He cannot start ahead of Bruno. He's not better than Bruno. He's nowhere close to Bruno. So I was still talking about Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba literally carried that whole midfield, because as I said, Scott McTominay was poor and Donny van de Beek was anonymous. So Paul Pogba literally carried that whole midfield. So when you take that into consideration and you see how good he was, it was a very good performance from Paul Pogba. So good that BBC gave him man of the match. Now, I wouldn't have given him man of the match, because I know Paul Pogba's level, and I watched the game and I saw that, okay, there were players that performed better than Paul Pogba. Number one, Marcus Rashford. He deserved the man of the match. You saw a goal, you saw assists from him, and he was dangerous. He was very dangerous when he got the ball. However, they gave it to Paul Pogba, and that's their view of it. I won't give man of the match to Paul Pogba, but he did perform very well. He was one of our better performers. And Paul Pogba, from the time his agent came out last year, early December, Paul Pogba has been performing very, very well for us, world class for us, and we are where we are even on the Premier League log because of Paul Pogba. If it weren't for him, we weren't going to be first. We would have dropped a couple of points. He came up with vital performances and goals. So going back to our first goal that we scored, it was down to Paul Pogba. He won the ball on the edge of our own box. Liverpool had the ball. He slide tackled one of their players. I think it was Thiago. I don't know, you all can correct me. He slide tackled him, one of the players. He got the ball back. He picked himself up, all in the same motion, picked himself up, held back that player, and ran a little bit. And I think Scott McTominay took the ball off Paul Pogba and played it into Rashford. Now Rashford. That was a world-class pass. That's a pass that Paul Pogba makes, and we drool over that pass. But now Rashford has made that pass, and Rashford's a winger. We expect midfielders to be able to make that pass. And even when they do, we drool over them and we say, wow, that's a pass. How much more now? Rashford is a winger and is passing the ball like that. World-class pass. Top class pass from Marcus Rashford. Mason Greenwood, clinical from Mason Greenwood. The thing with Mason Greenwood is he's so good with his shooting, and he can shoot with his left and his right. Yes, he's more comfortable on his left foot. You see that when he plays. He always wants to cut in on his left foot, but he can shoot equally as good on his right. And he scored that goal. But what I will say, in the first couple minutes, just before we scored our goal, Marcus Rashford and Mason Greenwood were really upsetting me, because all they were doing was running and wanted to shoot. Mason Greenwood, all he wanted to do was run into the box, do his step overs. His step overs don't beat anyone. He just does the step overs for doing it. And then he was shooting. That's all he wanted to do. Marcus Rashford was getting the ball, just running in a straight line. No skill, no step overs, just running into the cul-de-sac and running into Liverpool players. And that was upsetting me. But when we scored that first goal, both of their performances upped. And I think it was got to do with their confidence as well. So we went 1-1 through a fantastic goal. Then we went 2-1, and Mason Greenwood then supplied Marcus Rashford. Mason Greenwood then returned the favour to Marcus Rashford. And once again, Paul Pogba was involved in that goal. He was there involved in that goal. And then you saw Mason Greenwood get the ball, and Mason Greenwood played a fantastic pass to Marcus Rashford. And then Marcus Rashford went one-on-one with keeper, and very, very good composure and very good place to shoot the ball. It's always best when you're running one-on-one with keeper to make your angle to run in such an angle that you can open your body and slot it in. Thierry Henry was famous for that, opening up his body and slotting it in. He was probably the best one-on-one finisher in the world during his time. Running one-on-one with keeper, make sure he runs at an angle where he can open his body up and slot it in the right, on his right foot into the corner. And that's what Marcus Rashford done, and that was a very, very good goal, very, very good take from Marcus Rashford. Then we went 2-2, and when we went 2-2, I felt, you know what, now Liverpool are going to win the game, because they were coming into the game and they were playing good football, and they went 2-2. And now obviously when the opposition equalizes, the momentum is with them. And then I saw Sadio Mane warming up and coming on, and I thought, okay, yeah, we're gonna lose. But we stuck it out. Our defense weren't the best today. It weren't the best. I always felt that if Liverpool attack us more, they can score. It weren't the best today, you know. It weren't the best. Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, again, for me, if we're being honest, I'll say we need 2 centre-backs, because Harry Maguire is not the answer. But we won't buy 2 centre-backs, obviously. But I'm just saying, Harry Maguire is not the answer. Our defence weren't good today. But we were potent up front, and we will always be, because we've got world-class and top-class players playing at the front of the pitch. And so you saw our third goal, Bruno Fernandes came on as a substitute, and what can we say? He won the game for us. Bruno Fernandes, as I've always said, and I'll tell you again, Bruno Fernandes is one of the best shooters in Europe. One of the best shooters, whether it's from a dead ball situation, whether he gets the ball on the edge of the box and he's shooting. As long as Bruno Fernandes is shooting, there's about a 9 out of 10 chance that ball is going in the back of the net. He's extremely efficient in his shooting, extremely good in his shooting. And so you saw that with the free kick, very, very well taken free kick, and he won us the game. Very good performance from Bruno when he did come on. I thought he performed okay. I thought that, you know, Liverpool feared when he came on. And so he won us the game with that free kick. And that's what Bruno gives you. And for me, Edison Cavani also had a chance after that to make it 4-2 with his header that hit the post. And that's one of the things I like about Cavani that our other strikers don't give us, is he's an aerial threat. And he's extremely good with his head. And so that's why I favor Cavani. And Cavani today, his link-up play, yes, he was at fault for the second goal. That was poor from him, because Cavani's got ball control. We know that he's not like a Romelu Lukaku, who when you pass the ball onto him, he's got a trampoline foot. The ball goes back out. And that's what happened with Cavani for the second goal that we conceded. I don't expect that, because I expect Cavani's got good ball control. So I don't know what happened there, but overall Cavani had a good game. His hold-up play is good. His link-up play is good. Everything we credit Martial for, Cavani's hold-up play and link-up play is at the same level as Martial. And what Cavani has ahead of Martial, I think, is that football IQ. Cavani is very intelligent. He's very intelligent. He knows where everyone is on the pitch. Now, I'm not saying, okay, we know Cavani is a better striker than Martial. We know it. The goals say it. We know it. However, I'm not saying now Cavani must start ahead of Martial. No, I'm not saying that. We need to get all of them in one starting 11. That's what I am saying. But Cavani performed very well. Very well. But when we go to the back, Dean Henderson, there was nothing he could do with the goals. People were getting onto him, but there was nothing he could do with the goals. I think he was solid. I'll give him a 6. You know, I can't recall him making any top-class saves, so I'm just going to give him a 6. Wan-Bissaka, I thought defensively Wan-Bissaka was good, but going forward, he's extremely poor. He's extremely poor going forward. So I'm going to give him probably, I can't give him the same as Pogba and him. I'm probably going to give him a 6. Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof, I don't think they were good. I'm going to be honest with you, they weren't good this game. I'm going to probably give them a 5. I can't give them the same as Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka was good defensively, just going forward. Maguire and Victor Lindelof, they don't look good together. They don't. They need, each of them needs a world-class defender next to them. Each of them. You see when Bailly plays, Harry Maguire looks so much better. When Bailly plays with Lindelof, Lindelof looks so much better. They do need a better defender than them to play. I'm going to give them 5. I don't think they were good. They put me under a lot of pressure. Harry Maguire's passes, just was not good. I'm going to give them 5. Luke Shaw, I'm going to give a 7. Luke Shaw's first half performance was excellent. In the first half of the game, he was the best player on the pitch. But then the second half, I never see him go forward so much. I never see him defend so well. So I'm going to give him a 7. But overall, it was a good performance from Luke Shaw. Overall, it is a good performance from Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw has upped his game, and that's because of the Alex Telles pressure that is on him. Alex Telles is right there, and should Luke Shaw drop his performances, he knows Alex Telles will step in. But right now, Alex Telles cannot come in the starting 11 because Luke Shaw is so good. He's performing very good. The only criticism and the area that I would like him to improve is going forward. I'd like to see more crosses. I'd like to see more him taking on his fullback more, going on the outside more, and just being decisive with his forward play. That's all, but it is a 7. It is a very good performance from him. Scott McTominay, I have to give a 5. Wants a good performance from Scott. I don't want a good performance from Scott. Not at all. 5. Paul Pogba, 7. Very good performance. Mason Greenwood, a 7. He got the goal and assist. Donny van der Beek, I have to give Donny. Donny was anonymous, guys. Donny was anonymous. He never do much. So, he never play poorly. Never played poorly like Scott McTominay, but he was anonymous. So I'm just going to give him a 6. Marcus Rashford, I'm going to give an 8. Marcus Rashford for me was the man of the match. I told you already. He was the man of the match. And Edison Cavani, I'm going to give a 7 because he made that mistake. I can't give him a 7. I'm going to probably give him an 8. But I'll probably give him a 6, but it's a high 6, if that makes sense. It's only a 6 because he gave away that goal. He was the chief culprit for this Liverpool second goal. But overall, Cavani's game was good. It was good. His whole play, and as I said, his link-up play is so good. It's world class. So overall, it was good. But I'm going to give him a 6 because he did give away that goal for us. He was the culprit of that goal. But yeah, my man of them. And then Bruno came on. Bruno was 7. Marshall came on too late, and Fred probably a 6. He was all over. He helped us, but okay, it was a bit late also when he came on. But the man of the match is Marcus Rashford for me. BBC gave Paul Pogba. I'm going to give Marcus Rashford. I thought Marcus Rashford was really, really good. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's rating, I'll probably give Ole a 7. The team lineup, I don't like Paul Pogba deep. For me, I'll swap Paul Pogba and Donny van der Beek. I think that Donny can play very well as a number 6. And Paul Pogba was the most creative player. Why are we playing our most creative player as a number 6, as a holding midfielder? But I'm going to give Ole a 7. I have to give Ole some credit, United are doing what they are doing, also down to the manager. Yes, we still don't have a style of play, but he's getting results, and you have to give him credit where credit's due. So that's my player ratings. That's my analysis of the game. We're versing Sheffield next. Sheffield are 20th on the log. They are last on the log. They are getting relegated. I expect us to have a resounding victory against them, and I expect us to attack. Once again, I think that Paul Pogba might play CDM, but also have to, I think Paul Pogba will probably play CDM, and I think Mason Greenwood will start again. So that's my analysis of this game, guys. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to smash that like button. I'll see you all.